All right, so this is really on. This is live now.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. You signed the so since you're under the age of 18, you have to stand out of the picture. Yeah, I'm afraid so. I don't know if your mother wants to hide out of the picture or not.
I do.
But you better lean to your right a little more. There you go.
Oh, but now your old legs are in the way.
See, lovely. With people like this, see, I mean, how can this show possibly go wrong? And so we're just watching, and we're watching the Dolphins and Ravens. You're watching probably, this is where the Dolphins will, as I predicted, will start a winning streak of sorts. They're 4-7. They're primed to get a decent draft pick, which they'll do nothing with. But they're primed to do it. So this is when they'll start winning ball games and screw that up completely. Especially when attractive men such as Matt Schaub, as Echo Mexico said here, you found Matt is a good-looking guy.
Yeah, woo, man.
He's got a face only the blind could love. Yeah.
Yeah.
See that? He lost his shoe. Look at that. Why do you lose his shoe?
How did he lose?
How the hell do you lose your shoe? Someone's going to tie his shoe for him.
Is this only soccer team?
Seriously, this looks like the 10-year-olds out at soccer. Hang on. Someone give him an orange wedge. So 3rd and 6. What do you think? The Dolphins stop this? Oh, offsides. No.
Oh!
Wow. No penalty. Nothing. That was an act of Christ, folks. Oh, there it is. Holding a decline. And it was against ball. See? This is where it started. But listen, it's early. It's only 12:15 in the first quarter. So we'll check back. We'll see what level of rage I may or may not be at that point. But oh, Jesse's now in the picture. Hi, Jesse. Say hello. She's very shy. We'll be back. All right. So while there are no scores to any of the games. Let's get everyone's predictions. All right. Echo Mexico, Houston at Buffalo. Who are you picking? Quick. People don't like dead air.
Houston!
Why?
I don't know.
All right. That's good enough. Mrs.
Buffalo.
Mexico. Why?
I don't know.
Excellent. You know what? I'm going with Houston. They're a hot team. Plus they're my wild card pick. Baltimore, Miami. Echo Mexico. Who do you want?
Miami.
Why?
Because.
That's good enough. That's and you know in that age group that is a legitimate answer. You, Mrs. Mexico?
I don't know.
That's not a choice.
Baltimore.
Okay, good enough. I'm taking Miami because I told you just a minute ago this is where they're going to screw everything up. Jets at Giants, the Battle of New York.
Giants.
Echo? Quick!
Jets.
Jets. Ugh. I got to go with the Giants. I hate the Jets.
I know, I hate the Jets too, but.
All right.
Tennessee.
And the battle of no one's watching this game, not even the blind. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Ladies, which one do you want it?
Tennessee.
Both of you saying Tennessee? Christ. I guess I'll go with that bastard of a team from northern Florida. The Battle of Ohio. Bengals at the Browns. Echo.
I'm going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
All right. Mrs. Mexico, who are you taking?
Browns.
Okay, yeah, she's taking a Brown. I am going with the Bungles. We're going to flush that Brown down. Niners at Bears.
Bears.
Mrs. Mexico?
Niners.
Niners. I will take the Bears. Seahawks at the Vikings.
Seahawks.
I will take the Vikings, just to be against you two. Cardinals at the LA Rams. I don't give a crap what it says on the screen. It's LA Rams.
Rams.
Cardinals.
Cardinals. What do you think, Jesse? She's just deep into this. And that is all your early games. We'll get some 4 o'clocks later. So in about the middle of the, what was it, first quarter, right? First quarter?
Sure.
Good. Glad you're following along. Middle of the first quarter, Baltimore connected on a 52-yard touchdown against the Dolphins that got called back on basically hullabaloo. I mean, I don't know what the hell they saw, but there was nothing there. That was a touchdown. Baltimore, once again, you guys are getting screwed. As a Dolphin apologist, that was some bullshit. And then there was a face mask call that they blew against us as well. I mean, I'm not saying, listen, I'll take what they're going to give me, but like I said, I mean, this is going to be it. This is where, this is going to work. This works on PlayStation. All right, fine, it worked just today, but this crap works usually on PlayStation or Xbox, or whatever the hell you're playing on. Atari 2600, I don't know. Echo, really? Come on, man. Class. Keep it classy here. Yeah, this is nothing to beat your chests over, Dolphin fans. I mean, this is the typical bumbling, stumbling, dumb luck that we usually have with games. Why is it of some... I guess just because they run out of shit to talk about, but... I mean, he made this point about Mark Trestman, no stranger to Miami, being the Dolphins quarterback coach in 2004. It's 2004. Who's there? What do you remember from
11 years.
11 years ago?
Emily was one.
Right. That's what. So what? He has insight on what? On how dysfunctional they are?
That's probably what it is.
You guys need some new shit to talk about on TV. Just remember what Harvey Keitel said about doing something to another guy, you follow my drift. I have a captive audience here. I can't really let the references fly that I want to fly. Even though last night Mrs. Mexico has prematurely aged Echo Mexico than she already needs to be with interesting conversations on the way home on the 417 last night. Do you feel you were scarred,
I was
Echo?
scarred for life.
Really?
Really.
How much therapy is this going to cost your mother and I?
$5 million.
You heard it from God's... how's it go, that expression go? From God's lips to children's ears, or children's mouth to God's ear? I don't know. But you heard it here first when you read the People magazine episode about Ron Mexico's daughter going into deep regressive therapy because of the scarring on a ride home from Disney. Which, by the way, what's going on? So the whole point of me recording this thing was that the Dolphins now are up 14-0. It's in the second quarter off of the defense, essentially. Right now, it really should be 14-7 because Baltimore, again, did get screwed on a call. But, hey, listen, this is going just like I told you people it would. Now the Dolphins are going to give you false hope, make you think, oh, they can turn the corner, they can still make the playoffs, they can go in at 9-7. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. All we're doing is screwing ourselves out of a draft pick at this point, guys. That's all.
They do it every year.
Every year. Have you not seen the trend yet? I mean, seriously.
I have.
Number 3 is going.
And as soon as I shut off, Baltimore blocks the extra point, returns it for 2 points. So now it's 13-2, but there's a flag on the play. I'm sure it's something against Baltimore. Let's see. And I don't see number 4 is making some important decisions here for the Dolphins. So no kidding. I just said that. Thank you. I just beat you to the point. This is why you idiots need to hire me. I'm way more... Am I not more entertaining? Christmas is coming. Am I not more entertaining?
You're really more entertaining.
Thank you very much. See? Offsides. Defense. So, there we go. Another act of Christ for the Miami Dolphins. You're welcome, Dolphins. Again, it's Baltimore. I'm so sorry, guys. You're just screwing you left and right. So, the Dolphins finally pull it out. There was nothing worthwhile about talking about on this game. I mean, it was just... I think they said the Dolphins had 61 yards of total offense in the second half. I mean, that's just a pure shit show. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, it's a win. Yay, we fucking won. It validated putting all this fucking shit on today. That's about it. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but fuck it. I sound ungrateful. I don't fucking care. It's too much, too little, too late. It's exactly what I said is going to happen. They're going to start winning all these little games in a row right here now, give you false hope, make you think that Dan Campbell's a genius. And listen, don't take anything away from Dan Campbell. I like Dan Campbell. I like his spirit. I like a guy that's, a tough player. That's, no pussies allowed kind of attitude. But, you know what? That kind of fucking story only happens in fucking Disney movies, man. It's never going to happen for this franchise until there is a cleansing from top to bottom. So that means whoever is underneath Ross all the way to whomever fucking, mops the goddamn floor. I mean, everything's got to fucking change in that place. It's just, I don't know what it is. There's just a bad stink in that place. There is some mold or mildew. It's like one of those house improvement shows where every time they fucking tear something, oh my God, there was mold. No fucking shit. That's every episode. So that's what needs to happen to the Dolphins. There is some fucking mold somewhere in this goddamn franchise. They need to figure this shit out and fix it. And until then, it's going to be the same old shit every single fucking year with the Dolphins, man. I mean, right now, we're totally pissing away a fucking draft pick at this point. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, next segment coming up, I'll be dressed completely differently, and we'll figure out what the next segment is. I mean, I have an idea beginning to tell you what I'm going to fucking shoot for next week, but... Yep, nice take, Dolphins. Take the win, but too much, too little, too late to ever try again. Welcome to the Stiff Arm. I'm Moroccan, Ron, Mexico. Just fresh off, just came back from Morocco. Just came back from there. Actually, I did. From there and several other countries in one day because I can only afford to see them through the wonders of Epcot. But I guess that's the only reason why I'm wearing this the organ grinder hat. But it's called the Fez for you kids that don't know what the fuck it is. But it looks very. If you ever see your '60s James Bond movies, they look very villainish, kind of thug or maybe a thug for the big man for whatever Spectre. I don't remember. I'm not that huge of a hard-on for James Bond. Which kind of think about it. James Bond is more like the original. Because we got all the because Star Wars is coming out next week, so everyone's going ape shit for Star Wars. I'm trying to do my due diligence and educate the kid whose voice you heard on the earlier segment. About Star Wars. She saw it when she was younger, but they're at that age where, and even now, it's tough to get any of these fucking kids to watch movies. I mean, she'll be on. When she was a kid, she'd start watching a movie, and about 10 minutes later, she was on the floor doing something else, or just tumbling, or taking a ball and kicking it off the wall. I'm like, so you done watching the movie? We finished? So it was at that age where she was trying to watch it. So now she's actually has a little more of an attention span now. I have to put my foot down on the phone rule. As soon as I get down, I go, no phones for anything. The only thing you look the phone up for is to go to Internet Movie Database if you got a question about the movie. You can ask me. Other than that, no phone. Just pay attention to the goddamn thing. I'm guilty of doing it, but just watch the fucking movie. So we're up to Empire Strikes Back. And in the process of watching Empire Strikes Back, I had a lot of the toys from the first Star Wars up until probably through the Empire Strikes Back. When Jedi came out, I discovered masturbation at that point and kind of lost interest. So as we're watching Empire Strikes Back, there's a scene where Luke gets rescued from the fucking the abominable snowman from the Rudolph movie. I forgot what the hell it was called. The Wampa? Was that it? The Wampa? Anyway. Not important right now. Skip that. Stupid question, Ted. And so they bring him back, and he's in the medical bay. And he's in the medical bay. There's this one robot, and he was called 21B. Yeah, I'm not much of a dork, I remember, because I had all the toys, and I still have some of the toys. And if you can't see off the camera, but I have a shit ton of boxes here that are housing said Star Wars toys. So if you're looking to cut a deal, it works something out. I'm looking to unload this shit. I'm not displaying it. I'm not putting it on. I don't dress up in costume anymore. Last costume I was in for a Star Wars party, I had to do it. I went as Lando Calrissian. I'm just disappointed I could not find Colt 45 when I did it. So I digress. Back to it. So as we're watching this goddamn movie, now I've been watching this movie for 35 years. It came out in 1980 or 81. I'll say 80 is my guess. 35 years I've been watching this fucking movie. I had all the toys, and there was this one particular droid. It was called FX7, and FX7 looked like a heating lamp. If like down here in Florida, we have they'll have outdoor seating for restaurants, and it gets a little chilly for us. 65 with a breeze is rather chilly. You guys, we're pussies, but it come down in August, motherfucker. And let me see if you don't wilt down here. Now, who's the pussy now? Where was I going? So So the FX7, he looks like one of those aluminum heaters that they sell. It's they look kind of like a really tall Stanley Cup, and that's kind of like what FX7 looked like. So I never saw. I was like, where was this fucking thing in the movie? I swear to God, they made these characters that you had to buy. You were just I had to collect it to have it to fill the slot in the Darth Vader case. So as we're watching the movie, and all of a sudden I go, I'll be a son of a bitch. And I said that right there. I'll be a son of a bitch. And I paused the DVD, and there he was. And like it's like a split. He's like in the movie, like I swear, like 5 seconds. You see him doing something, I think, when Luke was either sitting in the bed just before he makes out with his sister, or when he was floating in that tank of water, which to this day I still don't understand what the fuck that was. And I knew I was going to get asked that question when we were watching the goddamn movie, but I was just like, what the fuck, man? But again, I don't know whether. I guess I'm kind of excited to see it because I'm excited for the kid because this is her first experience seeing a Star Wars movie. This is her generations of it coming out. I guess for me, I thought it was kind of done when they made Return of the Jedi. I figured that kind of wrapped it up. And the original three, we're still trying to figure out why they were made. I mean, the second one, you kind of had to make because you talked about the Clone Wars and the other ones. I mean, I get it. I mean, Lucas was throwing little fucking hints here or there. He's a clever son of a bitch. Back when he was making those movies in the 70s, talking about the scene where when he's talking about the lightsaber, he goes, you fought in the Clone Wars? Like that. I was like, what the fuck were the Clone Wars? I thought, first of all, it's always about cologne, like what gentlemen wear. Then I thought he was talking about the Colonial Wars. So I thought he was talking about, a type of bread or like the American Revolution. I never understood the words until I got older and read the closed captioning. Talk about clone. Oh, clone. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Way to fucking speak up, Marvel's mouth. But, so I get why they kind of made that. And then the third one, definitely, because you always wanted to know, fuck Darth Vader, where's that fucking Oakland Raiders costume? I never understood that. I mean, I didn't know if he was from the Bay Area or not. I was like, why is he wearing this shit all the time? And so that was cool to see. But that first one was just, it was a build. Big stroke off, I guess, just to show, hey, we're back, and it's just kind of a Star Wars-ish movie, and do we really need a fucking backstory on how C-3PO got made? No fucking cares. I mean, them just showing up on this ship, I think, was sufficient enough. That was good enough. That's perfect. That's all you fucking need. No way to fucking toting this goddamn robot along this whole fucking movie. It's retarded. Sorry. But this one, I mean, the visual effects look kind of cool, and, the dude who did Star Trek, Abrams, I thought those were pretty cool. That was another franchise. I'm like, Jesus Christ, do we need another Star Trek? And they were relaunching it, and I was like, let's see how it was. I mean, Spider-Man, they did kind of good relaunching that, so I guess the older I get, the more I'm not being so much stubborn to change, but I'm just kind of bending over to change. I'm just becoming just an anal whore to change in movies. I'm just kind of letting my, grudges go. I'm just saying, fuck it. Just get it over with. Just don't get it in my hair. Thank you. So, speaking of thank yous, here's your transition into football now as we go from geekdom to football. I should have 2 sunglasses on. I really could bestow the honor to Rex Kramer. I don't know if I said it in last week's show or not, but Denver, thank you. I'm very sorry, but thank you. Thank you very much for holding the only thing we have as Dolphin fans holy is that fucking 72 record. New Orleans, you got close. I appreciate the effort, man. I mean, I'm not going to chastise you. You did all you could, but you guys are a really dysfunctional franchise. But Atlanta, it's all the pressure's on you now to help the old Miami Dolphins out. Because again, this is all we have is this friggin' record. And as I said at the end of my summing up the Dolphins-Ravens win, I mean, that was just another fucking of Baltimore that gave the Dolphins were recipient of that, and I guess we'll take it. But it's again, as a Dolphin fan, it's nothing for me to really beat my chest over. If anything, I'm just disappointed you're just fucking everything up. I mean, I really want to see, and the Dolphins don't have it as bad as some other franchises, and I will have to say, Greg Hall said a couple of shows back he thought the Dolphins were the most dysfunctional football franchise out there. I beg to differ. I really think Cleveland is way worse than Miami. I mean, it's just dumb move after dumb move. Now, he would say Cleveland gets their just desserts because they were promised a team, but even when the Ravens ownership that was the original Cleveland Browns, they were still, it was just something in that town. It's just like poltergeist, where that stadium was built. It was like this, it must be some sort of burial, toxic waste or burial ground, or I don't know what the fuck it was that, what supernatural being is planted there in the fucking shores of Lake Erie. But Jesus Christ, I mean, they are just a disaster after disaster. And I'm trying to give a way to have coerce this guy that I know who's a pretty loyal Browns fan, and a lot of you probably go, he's a moron. And that's not fair to say, because I should be called a moron too for rooting for this crap, because we're just as dysfunctional. But it's just hard. I mean, how do you know when to give up on your fucking football team? I mean, do you just completely give up on the team, or do you just, take kind of a break? And that's kind of how I see with the Dolphins. It's like, hey, that's great. Yeah, you got to win. Good. You're just you're just going to keep perpetuating the nonsense. I don't know where I was going at, but hopefully, and Philadelphia. Let's keep with the thank yous. Eagles, thank you once again for just sticking it to the Patriots. You kind of fell asleep at the switch there at the end. I mean, don't forget, it is the Patriots, just because you got a lead on them. There was no lead big enough to keep that fucking team down. And thank you. And it's great, because now it's causing panic. Now it's making things difficult for the New England Patriots. And, the Texans, possibly you. I mean, I really feel like, so I'm all over the place. So let's talk about New England here. Let's talk about New England, baby. Is it time for the Patriots to panic? I know that's all you all been asking. That's all the letters have been getting all week. He's like, Ron, are the Patriots time for the Patriots to panic? Abso-fucking-lutely. Not so much panic, but now their back is against the wall. Now, some teams feed off of that. Some teams, it makes them play tighter. We'll see. I mean, I think New England, it's kind of getting to them, because Brady has got what I heard on NFL Network referred to as the others, which is the other guys he has. I mean, name the other people. I mean, LaFell, you have Amendola. Amendola's essentially playing not Welker, Edelman's role. With Gronkowski out, is who either the majority of the time they either put the ball to, or teams will divert more attention to, leaving someone else open. So his absence is fucking with him. Not only that, but they have the same record as everyone else that's in the AFC right now. They're 10-2. The Bengals are 10-2, and the Broncos are 10-2. And the Broncos are winning. Jesus, I think I got lice from this fucking thing. You can't rock the goddamn Casbar. Broncos are 10-2. So, and New England typically doesn't fare well in the playoffs when they are on the road. If they're playing at home, they're more dominant. There was a statistic I saw. It says, they don't go to the Super Bowl. I think the last time they went to a Super Bowl and they were the road team was Brady's first year, when Bledsoe got his lung collapsed by Mo Lewis. As all Patriot fans, you should be thanking, and when you get on your knees at night and praying to Jesus, you should be thanking them for Mo Lewis collapsing Bledsoe's lung. You should be. That should be in your prayers every fucking night, on the Mount Rushmore of New England Patriots lore. There is an obnoxious water drink. All right, so right now, Pats are third, sitting in this thing. So New England, the remaining games, they got Houston, Tennessee, Jets, and Dolphins. All right, they're 4-0 to the division, and they're 4-1 on the road. Which all those statistics, pretty good. So it should behoove them. They should have no problems then against the Jets and the Dolphins. The Dolphins are not going to have a fucking problem against the Jets. Might give them a game. There's some blood in the water. I mean, the Jets got something to prove. The Jets are fighting for a wild card spot too, so that's going to be a tough game against them. The one they got next week against Tennessee is a fucking wash. I mean, Tennessee might challenge and might get a little uppity and challenge a little bit, but they should smash them. It's at home. Belichick and let them forget that. Houston, I don't know. There's some blood in the water. Houston got some pass rushers. Houston got people that can get to Brady and frustrate Brady. As everyone knows, that's the easiest formula to stopping them. And without Gronkowski being there drawing the coverage, Houston has a legitimate shot. So, out of what they got left, 1, 2, 3, 4 games left, I think they go 3-1. I personally think Houston's going to take them today. Now, the fucking Bengals, I don't trust you motherfuckers either. You're just like, okay, Cincinnati Bengals, are like that. You're trying to woo the attention of another woman, but you wind up hitting on her friend who is not so much to your liking, but you kind of doing that to make the other one jealous to get attention to you. Follow me? That's kind of like what the Bengals are. They're like this one chick who's like stuff, like you're trying to build up someone's self-esteem to win the favor of the other. I don't know. I'm putting all kinds of cardinals for this shit. But in other words, I just totally botched that one up. I don't know. I can't figure out how to put the Bengals into words. They got Pittsburgh this week, but you know what? I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to finally start showing their playoff stripes, bumps against them. Pittsburgh, it was like, who the fuck was that team that showed up? I mean, Indianapolis, I know isn't the best defensively, but they had been playing better with Hasselbeck. But holy shit, Pittsburgh just came out and mauled the fuck out of them. You know, they did it, special teams, defense, offense. I mean, whipped the ass off of them. Cincinnati hasn't had a challenge like that. Pittsburgh's good and pissed off. Pittsburgh has an opportunity. They could win this division as well. They are just as fucking hungry. They got, Cincinnati's got, is this Pittsburgh? Yeah, no, this is, so they got Pittsburgh, at San Francisco, at Denver. Who the fuck knows is going to show up with that? And they finish with Baltimore, depending on how pissed off and I would not be surprised if Harbaugh has that team all wound up in a dander to go whip some ass on Cincinnati. So Cincinnati, I think, has got a pretty tough road. Then Denver, Oakland, at Pittsburgh, Cincy, and San Diego. They should handle Oakland. I mean, that might be a little bit different of a game. I mean, I don't know enough about Oswald, whatever the fuck his name is, but I do know they have a bit of a conundrum on their hands. Is when Peyton Manning's foot is cleared, what do? Are you riding with the guy who sells the most shirts, or are you gonna kind of roll the dice and kind of like benching Johnny Unitas for Earl Morrall in a way, but a very young Earl Morrall? I don't know if it's a good enough analogy, but that's a pretty legendary guy. You're gonna want to have sit the bench come playoff time. This other kid's just, more physically fit, can pull it off, I suppose. Denver 3-1 in their division also. So it bodes well for them that they should be able to handle Oakland and San Diego, just games against Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. I mean, this is where it's going to get ugly. This is what I was meaning by, it's beginning to get a lot like playoffs, because these are all big games now, and these guys are all going to have head-to-head, and this is going to determine home field. A lot of shit's going down. In Pittsburgh, they're at Cincinnati, Denver at Baltimore, and then Cleveland. All right, so Cincinnati, I think they beat Denver. It's at home. I think Pittsburgh wins that one. Baltimore, at Baltimore. That could go either way. It doesn't know. That's it's just an ugly rival game. It's just what's bad for Baltimore is both their quarterbacks are horrible. They got the pickle man and they got fucking Schaub the Sephardic. I mean, they just look fucking. He looked horrible against the fucking Dolphins. So what a perfect time. This thing tells me I need an update. Go fuck yourself. I don't see Baltimore winning that one, and then Cleveland, as I just said to earlier, is Cleveland. They're going to finish fucking, they're terrible. Pittsburgh's 1-2 in their division, but all right. I guess we just keep rolling, man. I mean, what's the point of making it to this segment? Because near the segment, it's just immediately another video, right? So fuck it, let's just keep talking. All right, so my opinion, is there definitely blood in the water there's blood in the water for everybody. I mean, the Patriots aren't the only one that aren't as everyone is vulnerable right now, because they all, the powers that be did a very creative job of putting these schedules together to where, who knew this is all going to happen. I mean, Ron Mexico here did predict that the Houston Texans would be a wild card team. So Houston's got a lot to play for as well. I mean, they are tied for that division lead with the Colts. So watch the fuck out, New England. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Now, Denver, I just don't know what to do with you. I haven't seen enough. I mean, everyone that I talk to, everyone says the same thing about they have this great defense. Okay, that's great. I know defense wins you championships, but I just don't know enough about this quarterback, and I guess I'm just stuck in the mindset of just it's Peyton Manning, and it was just an offense that was automatic. They keep on rolling. I don't even remember who the fuck they played last week. Who was it? Oakland, San Diego. They played. I mean, I guess they handled them well. I guess their defense handled the offense, handled Rivers even better, but I mean, it's pretty much their division not to lose. Do I see Kansas City, who's sitting in the wild card spot? You got Kansas City and the Jets in the wild card spot, and Houston is either co-division or just outside as well, with Pittsburgh. Let's see. I don't think the Jets are going to make it. I think the Jets are going to fall off, and then I think either Pittsburgh or Houston. Pittsburgh, Houston. I think it'll be Pittsburgh, and I think Houston's going to wind up winning their division. So I would be right about saying Houston was in the playoffs, but wrong about those motherfuckers winning the division, which who the fuck thought that shit? Speaking of which, the NFC East or the AFC South, which is a bigger shit show? I mean, the NFC East, everybody is 5-7 except for Dallas, who's 4-8, and oh my God, Washington, how did you fuck that one up? I mean, you had him on the ropes. I just don't understand. I mean, I don't get it. I don't want to hear this. It was the hustler's mentality. It was this. He's a playmaker. He's trying to do this. No, it's just a matter of just being smart with the fucking football and just, you had enough yards. Just push it up there. And you had him on the ropes. I mean, the offense could have muddled enough yards together to get the fucking kicker. You get Mark Mosley in range and kick another one up and get another 3 fucking points, it would have been fine. No. You gotta fucking dick around with this end around bullshit and get it knocked out of your fucking hands. I mean, yeah, he made a touchdown to redeem himself, but they should have never been in that position. That should never have happened. But, got a fucking hot dog. This is why you don't do this shit. Jesus fucking Christ. So you got that. The fucking Giants can't get their shit together and knock one over on the Jets. Giants, you're killing me, Smalls. You're fucking killing me. You're absolutely killing me. You know, now I got to see you play the fucking Dolphins on Monday night. In a way, I think might be partially secretly rooting for the Giants, just because I want my fucking prediction to come true. These assholes turning the corner and going to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's all I got this season. You know, just keep my record intact and my preseason prediction. So that's all I'm playing for this fucking year. You know, but I mean, and then Philadelphia's got fucking Buffalo, you know, and all this bullshit with Sean McCoy, and you know, why is everyone making a big deal? Why do you keep talking about it? Just shut the fuck up. Just someone asks you a question about it. Why? Who fucking cares? Well, how Chip Kelly? You know, this is unusual. That's just because there's a racial undertone. What the fuck ever, man. It's a non-fucking. Who gives a shit? It's a guy who got dumped by his own. It's no different than any other guy who played for any other fucking team, and you want to go against him. You want to shove it up their ass. It's no fucking different. That's the only thing that should be focused on. This whole fucking race issue is retarded. And I'll probably get in trouble for saying it's retarded. But which division is the bigger shit show? The AFC or the NFC East by far. I mean, none of these guys want to fucking win. I mean, breaking down everything. Houston has Houston's 4-2 at home. They're 4-4 in the AFC. And who they have left is they have New England today, then they're at the Colts, at Tennessee, and then Jacksonville. So it's all divisional games from downhill. So Houston's it's going to be a tough one because they're all going to be coming for Houston. You know, and again, they're scrapping, especially that next one against Indianapolis. That's where the rubber's going to meet the road. I mean, I don't know the Colts got Jacksonville today. You know, again, I mean, it's a very upset smelling type of weekend. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm going to go on a fucking record. I'll gamble with those fucking assholes from Northern Florida that they knock off the Colts there. I think Houston is what I think is going to happen. Houston's going to take the fucking Patriots today. And Jacksonville's going to fucking knock off the Colts. That's what I'm seeing. Tennessee, don't make a fucking difference who you're playing. Oh, they got the Jets? Is it the Jets? I think they're playing the Jets. I had it up there somewhere. Who fucking... Is it? Like I'm pretending like I have an assistant. They're talking in my earpiece. But anyway, I think the Jets are playing the Titans today. And so I mean, the South actually seems like there's might be a little bit more competition, but I mean, the East is just like, I mean, this is ridiculous. Giants 2-3 in division, Washington 1-3, Philly 2-2, Dallas 3-2. You know, this week, like I said, Giants are at the Dolphins, Redskins are at the Bears, Eagles hosting the Bills, and Cowboys at the Packers. Cowboys, I think you're going to give the Packers a little bit of a game. I think I think they get Packers a little bit of a game, but I think the Packers are, you know, that fucking end how that game ended last week. I mean, that maybe might be the fire that gets lit under Green Bay's ass. I mean, this is where, you know, the men's are separated from the boys. I mean, Jesus Christ, look what fucking Seattle did to Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota is, you know, kind of, you know, doing well and kind of resting on the laurels of their hype, and Seattle came in and just fucking punched them in the mouth and took their fucking lunch money. You know, they fucking Debo'd him. I mean, not only Debo, they did what the skinny guy did when he whipped Debo's ass. He goes, that's my grandma back, punk. And he fucking, I mean, they whooped their ass. So, I mean, Giants, their Final Four, Dolphins, Panthers. Oh my God, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Giants. You got a rough road. I mean, this is where Eli needs to, you know, where he snaps out of it and it just plays out his ass instead of like this where he just makes these dumb decisions. Eli's. Washington, I can't figure you motherfuckers out. Philadelphia, seriously, I mean, I do. Who the fuck wins this shit? I mean, as I said, yeah, East, there's your answer right there. The East is the bigger fucking shit show. I wish I had a fucking answer for you, but that's all I cared about was just telling you. The East is the bigger fucking shit show. I'm still riding the fucking Giants just because I'm that dumb and stubborn with this bullshit. Now in the West, you got Arizona, Seattle. Listen, Arizona is now, I'm fucking all in, bro. I'm completely hitching my playoff wagon to the fucking Cardinals. I don't trust, there's no one in the AFC I want to see. Fuck New England. You know, Myron Cope, I know your friends, my Steeler fan friends, but fuck you guys. I want to see somebody else different win a fucking ball game. And the Arizona Cardinals were a team that since I've been enslaved to DirecTV to watch said shitty football team because of the Jacksonville cocksuckers. I've always liked watching the Cardinal games just because it was just who you ever meet. I still have never met a Cardinals fan to this day. So I'm fucking riding on that. That's what I'm hitching my wagon to. The Cardinals have replaced the Saints as my playoff mistress for this season. But, you know, they played a hell of a game fucking Thursday night against, you know, Minnesota tried to do it again, you know, and again, Minnesota are kind of losing stock in you because you got punched in the mouth by Seattle and you come in and you had opportunities against Arizona and you really couldn't get it. Hang on a second. Not like some random dryness. I think my throat's going through menopause. So, but Arizona's got Minnesota, and they're at Philly, Green Bay, Seattle. Arizona, this rubber meets the road too. I mean, these are all, again, Green Bay and Seattle are two teams they might see in the playoffs again. So, interesting. And then Seattle's got Baltimore, Cleveland, LA, and then Arizona. So, they got Baltimore this weekend, Cleveland, come on. LA might give them a game, but it's at home. And then they finish at Arizona. So, Arizona's defense ranked fourth against the pass, eighth against the run, I believe, or one or the other. And Arizona's first in total yards, third in the pass, eighth rush. Wow, I mean, it's comparable records, man. And I'm really not making any points. I'm just spitting out statistics because I'm running out of shit to talk about here. But I don't know, man. Will the Panthers lose? I sure fucking hope so. I don't know. I'm running out of steam. I'm running out of moxie here. I'm getting tired. Old man's running out of shit. But yeah, will it happen? It will. Who is going to be? I think Tampa Bay in the final week of the season. Tampa Bay is a scrappy little bunch down there with old crab legs as quarterback. And, I mean, they're in the thick of this too. I mean, they might not win their division, but they're in the hunt for that. For those 2 wild card spots. There might be something really, really on the line, and who's to say Carolina plays their starters? I mean, they're going to have home field, so they'd be dumb. It wouldn't behoove them. They're thinking with their dicks and putting Newton in there for the game against Tampa just to preserve an undefeated season. You don't want it. You don't want the pressure of it. Trust me, Panther fans. You don't want that burden of that fucking record. Every year you got to go through this shit going, this is all we got. Because eventually at some point you're going to turn shitty. Sorry, you are. But this is going to happen. It's a done deal. Lastly, a couple things I want to wrap up with. Color rush unis are fucking stupid. NFL is, you really need that much. Your product can't sell itself enough that you have to have teams wear these fucking uniforms, and then you have people crying that they're saying, I'm colorblind and I can't fucking see the game and I can't distinguish who's who because they have logos on the sides of the fucking helmet. You couldn't read those? You couldn't tell by, that's so-and-so and this is this? Really? God, Jesus fucking Christ. But again, it's just it's the gimmick. It's for a league that is clamoring and touts itself on player safety, having these guys be in a car crash on Sunday and have them go out and play in another car crash on Thursday is in the end going to cost you more money in fucking lawsuits that you could have fucking pocketed instead of being truly responsible for player fucking safety, and lobbying against this fucking concussion lawsuit as well. I mean, come on, man. Come to some sort of fucking compromise with these guys. Help them out. 2 teams in LA. Again, this is still going on. No. LA, you get 1 team. My opinion, again, I've been lobbying forever. I still want it to be Los Angeles. I just want the Rams to go back. I don't even acknowledge that they're in some other city. But, I want it to be Los Angeles Rams. As you can see right there where my finger's pointing, that says Los Angeles Rams. So I'm lobbying for you. That's who I want. That's who I acknowledge as all I believe. And you're in those fucking colors as well. But, I just don't. The only reason New York has 2, and everyone goes, well, New York has 2 football teams. Yeah, they do have 2 football teams. But you know what? That is a holdover from the days of the original merger between the American Football League and the National Football League to make what you know as the National Football League today is a leftover from that. Los Angeles at that time just had the Rams at the time of the merger. You had 1 team. The Chargers had moved. The Chargers played 1 season in LA in '61. After that, they went to San Diego. They've been the San Diego Chargers ever fucking since. So you've always had 1 team. It wasn't until the 83 season that the Raiders moved to LA, and then you had them for a dozen years. So for 12 years, you had 2 teams, Los Angeles. That's it. 12 years? That's really enough of a history that you need another fucking team down there? Fuck you. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I think it's ridiculous. I mean, so much of it. You have 2 fucking hockey. I think it's ridiculous that you guys try to take one city called, you had Anaheim, which is a fucking good distance from LA, and it's not the people, it's the fucking team. So shame on the fucking sports team, but it's a shame that you're trying to draw LA. Oh, well, we're the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We're the Anaheim Ducks of Los Angeles. We're the fucking. It's a double entendre. It's just be Anaheim. Just be proud that you're fucking rich white people in the fucking suburbs. Just be proud of just call yourselves the Housewives. Fuck it. Just change it to Housewives of Orange County. And just fucking roll with that, man. Be proud of what the fuck you are. Be proud of the fucking city you are. Let LA be fucking LA. And LA is the Rams to me. It's not the Raiders, a little bit. I mean, if they were to stick 2 teams in there, I guess I would begrudgingly give up letting the Raiders go back to LA. I mean, I'm a purist, and I'd rather my Raiders be the Oakland Raiders. I wish I could figure out some way of keeping them the Oakland Raiders. I just don't see it happening. I mean, there was an article I saw where the Oakland Coliseum was using paper cups. I mean, if you look on Twitter, there are pictures of air conditioning ducts with, like, Pepsi cups taped to the bottom of it to catch the fucking condensation dripping from the AC pipes in, like, the press box area or, like, the sky boxes. I'm like, oh, my God. I mean, give these guys a fucking stadium. I mean, they're playing in the 3rd oldest stadium. You know, Soldier Field's the oldest. That was built in 24. You know, you got Lambeau was built in 57. But both those stadiums have had major upgrades to them. They've been, and there's only so much they can do with upgrades to the Oakland Coliseum because Oakland's the only team that's still sharing it with a baseball team because the A's still play there. So both of them want something. Oakland supposedly wanted a stadium right where that thing is, and they can't knock it down because where the fuck are the A's going to go play? Where the Raiders going to go play? They're both going to wind up having to play in Frisco for a few years while some sort of new stadiums are built. But let's face it, man, city's got bigger fucking problems than building stadiums, and I've never quite understood why. If you're an owner of a fucking football team, you want to set up a business in that city, in said city, then shouldn't you be responsible for building your own fucking stadium? Why does the city have to give you fucking money for that? You want to build a fucking stadium, you build it, and you fucking run it out for concerts. Figure a way to do that bullshit. But I don't know. That's why I do what the fuck I do. I'm not responsible for real estate, and I suck at Monopoly. But and then lastly, I saw the Philadelphia 76ers hired Jerry Colangelo, which I don't know a lot about basketball. If Charlie were here, he would be able to educate us all on this, so we're going to have to wing this from what I read from Wikipedia, which we all know is the truth. But Colangelo, I found out, was owner of the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Phoenix Suns, very well-to-do business guy, in charge of USA Basketball, didn't know that either. So, that's how closely I follow this shit. But the NBA owners kind of strong-armed the 76ers into hiring hiring this consultant named Colangelo. I'm trying to pull the article up. My Chrome collapsed. Yeah, whatever, dude. So, anyway, but it says, since September 2014, Avery has been lobbying the league's front office to step in with regard to the direction of the Philadelphia 76ers, sources told ESPN.com on Monday night. It was that effort that helped lead to the hiring of Jerry Colangelo to a senior position earlier Monday, the sources said. So, and what was happening was, the 76ers were just a disaster. They're 1-21. Holy fucking shit. What a shit show. What a shit show of shit shows that is. That's like dysentery. That's like being in the Hanoi pit that Christopher Walken talked about in Pulp Fiction. Jesus Christ, oh my! And it makes me wonder. It's like is this the way it's going to go? Is this a good thing or a bad thing for sports? I feel like it's a good thing that there is some sort of welfare, that there is some sort of action being taken place, and even in the NFL, I think something needs to be done. I know it's the fan's dumb fault for being a fan of that particular franchise for watching that shit, but is it really fair to the fan that season after season teams like the Cleveland Browns fuck things up, or like the Detroit Lions, like when Millen was in charge, even my fucking beloved Miami Dolphins, it's just going to be the same fucking thing after the same fucking thing with the Dolphins. I said it on the show. This is when this is a franchise that all of a sudden they get a fire under their ass. They want to win at the end of the season. Everything gets fucked up, and it's just the same perpetual, dumb move after dumb fucking move, that the owner does. He instead of they just I could go on forever, but who fucking cares? They're never going to clean house. It's never going to get fucking done. But all right, listen, it's 1:00. I need to go watch some fucking games, so I got material for you fucking people for next week. But hopefully I can get a guest. Thanks, Myron, for fucking backing out, motherfucker. Yeah, he was supposed to be my guest this week. But, all right, guys. We'll see. Like I said, I think a lot of fucking upsets this particular Sunday. But this is Ron Mexico saying, go fuck yourself, San Diego.